Hey, all boys, what's up? Today we'll be having a Christmas special. You may all remember some sort of grocery store back in the 1960s and 70s and 80s. My dad, Fredbear Sr., grew up with Kmart a lot, especially around Christmas time. And here's a few commercials of Kmart. Here's a radio ad of it. Here we go.
Heaters, power tools, they got TV, toasters, waiting pools, they got hi-fi hammers, hoses, rakes, they got all the very finest makes. Stop and shop at Kmart, get the best in name brand merchandise. They guarantee the quality and discount the price. They got washers, dryers, bassinets, they got sprinklers, toasters, wire nets, they got
Oh, I
broilers.
forgot one more thing to say. This is for entertainment. This is for educational purposes, personal only. I'm not copywriting. This is only for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is not copyrighted material.
Records, vacuum cleaners, barbecues to roast your wieners.
Okay, I'm not gonna listen to that.
Power tools, they got TV, toasters, waiting pools, they got.
But Kmart was also known for its Christmas stuff, which I'll show you guys right now. I'll play one of their most famous ones. From 1979.
Merry Christmas from your Kmart Christmas store. Save on sweaters and on hats, bowling balls and baseball bats.
Cameras, TVs, bikes and pants, goldfish, fat boy slippers, hats.
Parents' dresses, perfume socks, toasters, roasters, mugs and clocks. Candy, records, films and toys, and Santa land for girls and boys. Christmas smiles like every place at Kmart's Christmas saving place.
Alright, you get the deal. So today, my friend Bonnie is going to take over and talk about the history of Kmart. Take it away, Bonnie! Oh. Hello, everybody. Bonnie the Bunny here. Today we talk about the history of Kmart. I hope you guys are ready to learn something as we go through the history of Kmart. Let's begin. In 1899, SS Craig Crusher, which is Coleridge, which is the K in Kmart company, was founded by Sebastian S. Craig. In 1912, S. Craig incorporated in Delaware with 85 stores and sales of $10,325,000. In 1916, SS Craig Company reincorporated in Michigan. In 1918, SS Craig Company became a public trade company which was listed on New York Stock Exchange, also known as NYSE. In 1929, a Canadian subsidiary, SS Craig Company, LID, was founded. At the end of the year, 19 stores were operating in Canada. In 1952, the SS Craig Company was the first retailers to convert stores to checkout operations to open stores in the shopping centers. In 1962, with Harry B. Cunningham as president of the company, opened the first Kmart discount department store in the suburb of Detroit. 17 other Kmart stores opened the same year. In 1966, the founder Sebastian S. Craig died at 99, at the age of 99. Also in 1996, sales topped from the 1 billion mark on their first time. Number of stores climbed to 950 including 162 Kmart stores. In 1968, the S.S. Craig Company in G.J. Coles Coy Limited Time in Australia organized Kmart Australia, a limited to develop Kmart stores in Australia. Craig owned 51% of the common stock. In 1972, S.S. Craig Company moved from Detroit from the new headquarters in Troy, Michigan. Also in 1972, Harry B. Cunningham relinquished his post as chairman of the board and the chief executive officer of Robert E. Dofer, former Craig's president. In 1976, S.S. Craig opened a record of 171 Kmart stores, the first time a retail launched 17 million square feet of retail space in a single year. The total stores reached about 1,647. Of those, 106 were Kmart stores. In 1977, name changed from S.S. Kellogg's Company to Kmart Corporation to reflect that in 1997-76, sales at Kmart stores are accounted for 94.5% of the company's domestic consolidated sales. In 1978, Kmart was exchanged for its 51% interest in Kmart Australia Limited for a 20% interest in G.J. Coles and Coy Limited in 1985. G.J. Coles and Coy changed their name to Coy Meyer Ltd. over Kmart, increasing in Cole Myers over in 20%, which equality was divided in 1994. In 1997, Robert E. Dvorak relinquished his post as chairman and chief executive at the end of the year. As we hit the 1980s, Vice Chairman Bernard M. Falber was elected chairman and chief executive officer. In 1981, the 2,000 Kmart store opened. At the end, there were over 2,055 Kmart stores in the United States, Canada, and even Puerto Rico. In 1980, then we fast forward to 1984, the year when the Olympics took place in California. Kmart acquired the Walton Book Company and Home Centers of America, which is subsequently renamed Builders Square. In 1985, Kmart launched its Jolene Smith finisher of sportswear. And then in 1987, which most of the details happened, Kmart sold the most U.S. Craig Jupiter stores to the Croyd Corporation. In 1987, Bernard M. Furter relinquished his post as the chairman and the chief executive officer, and Joseph E. Antonetti was elected chairman, president, and chief executive officer. Also in 1987, the Kmart introduced Martha Stewart Entertainment and Live Spoken and Consult. And then 1990 hit, Kmart was purchased the Sports Authority of a 10-store chain with sporting goods and superstores. And also in 1990, Kmart announced their new identity, changing the red K and the Coordinates Mart logo to a large red K with a white Mart with the new logo single with Kmart's commitment to change. Also in 1990, Kmart acquired a 22% of ownership interest in the Office Max. Kmart increased its interest by Office Max to more than 90% in 1991. In 1991, Kmart raised $1 billion in equity throughout the converted stock offering. Each stock was converted into common stock in 1994. In 1992, Kmart acquired Borders. If you don't know what Borders is, Borders is a famous book company back then that went bankrupt, which is bank. If you don't know, Borders is no longer around. They went bankrupt many years ago, but they were once around when Kmart was around. Kmart acquired Borders Inc., a chain of 22 book superstores in the Middle West and the Northeast. Also in 1992, Kmart entered the European market, which was purchased by 13 stores in Czech Republic, which was still Czechoslovakia, which at the time was also known, but at that time they were still Czechoslovakia, right? And Slovakia. These stores were separate quantities sold in 1996. Kmart launched its Cafe Ireland exclusive swimwear and its body collections. Also in 1994, Kmart opened stores through joint venue operations in Mexico, Puerto Rico, Liverpool, and in Singapore in Metro Private Limited. The joint in Singapore has been dissolved in 1996, and the Mexican joint venue was sold in 1997. And also in 1994, Kmart announced that its intent to make ideal offering Intel public offering, also known as IPOS, of its interest in the Sports Authority Max Office Max and Borders Group Inc. IPOS for 70% of the Sports Authority and 75% of the Office Max were successfully completed. In 1995, Joseph E. Attorney relinquished his post of chairman, meaning relinquish means to step down, if you guys do not know. Later that year, Floyd Hall named the Kmart chairman, president, and executive officer. Also in 1995, IPO for Borders Group Inc. was successful and completed, and Kmart sold the remaining instance in Sports Authority and Office Max. In 1996, Kmart completed $4.7 billion in new financing through three-year $3.7 billion credit facility and $1 billion public offering of a 7.75 convertible preference securities. Also in 1996, Kmart launched the Route 66, a line of casual apparel for all members of family. In 1997, Kmart introduced a big new Kmart store in the logo and format. Oh, there's one thing that's not on here. Kmart once had an auto repair shop for cars. And I'll show you a commercial of that and my friend Fredbear will show you a commercial of that right now. Right, Fredbear? That's right. Here's a commercial I'm going to show you guys. Kmart Auto Shop. They had an auto shop. Please watch this commercial.
People have discovered a low.
Once again, these are for educational entertainment purposes. So no copyright infringement is necessary. Please enjoy.
Millions of people have discovered a low-cost alternative to car care, where qualified mechanics do quality work. They discovered K-Care, found only at Kmart.
When you can get a quality brake job for $98, not just the front, but both front disc and rear drum, that's some value. Well, that's what the K-Care brake special is all about. For only $98, we'll do a front and rear brake job using Ray Bestis Manhattan quality parts. At that price, why do it yourself? That's K-Care, only at Kmart.
Yep. Wait. What was Christmas at Freddy Fazbear in the 1990s? Hold on. I need to save on to this.
You take your medication.
Hold on, I gotta do this.
You definitely.
I gotta do it. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to this. I gotta watch this later. Anyway, yeah, they had their own Kmart store. Anyway, back to you, Bonnie. Okay, thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fredbear. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, 1997. Kmart launched a new Martha Stewart everyday line. If you don't know who Martha Stewart is, I'll show you. Martha Stewart, if y'all don't know, guys, I lost my spot. Go back to my history. Oh crap. It didn't save my history. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Hell no. I'm gonna just go back. So about that, what was go back to you, Bonnie. Okay. Thank you. Oh. Oh yeah, something this time my office do it every day, registered on a bed and for fashions and complimentary 256 color paint. And there's some kind of chip on me. There we go. In 1997, Kmart sold Building Square and Kmart Canada. And another thing happened in 1997 is Kmart debuted Sesame Street, an exclusive line of clothes for newborns and infants and toddlers under the term agreement for Children's Television Network. If you don't know, that's a company that is associated to Sesame Street. And then in 1998, by the end of Kmart has been open. Kmart had been open and converted to 1,245 big Kmart stores, represented to 62% of the chain stores. As we're about to hit Y2K, Kmart celebrated its 100th anniversary as a retail. Martha Stewart's everyday brand launched new garden and patio products. Martha Stewart's baby products for nursery. Also in 1999, Kmart launched a BlueLight.com standing alone e-commercial company in conjunction with SoftBank Virtual Company and Yahoo. Now we hit the 2000s. 2000s, things get a little challenging for Kmart. This is where things change in Kmart's popularity. Kmart expanded Martha Stewart Everyday Gardens, include live plants, seeds, and launching Martha Stewart Everyday Kitchen and a complete line of houseware supplies. In 2000, Floyd Hall retires as chairman president, and the CDO, Charles Conway, was elected as chairman and CDO. 2000, also in 2000, Kmart and Capital One launched their new co-brand MasterCard, replacing the private label Kmart credit card. In 2001, Kmart reduced a legendary blue light special after a 10-year absence. And also in 2001, Kmart and Martha Stewart Inc. announced a new long-term franchise agreement. Kmart also expanded Martha Stewart everyday brands, including 2 collections: Martha Stewart Everyday Keeping, an assortment of storage and organizational projects; Martha Stewart Everyday Directing for an array of home products. However, this is where things got interesting. In 2001, Kmart signed a $4.5 billion arrangement with Fleming Marketing, the sole food consumables director for the car company. Also in 2001, Kmart announced it will be developing, producing, and selling new executive product lines through license agreements with Disney, Challenge Clothing, and Joe Boxer, appealing with home fashion. In 2001, Kmart acquired BlueLight.com, the company e-commerce subsidiary. However, things for Kmart was going to turn for the worst, because in 2002, Kmart filed for a reorganization under Chapter 11 bankruptcy code that announced the closing of 283 stores. And oh boy, it gets worse. Chuck Cornaway resigns as chairman of CDO as the member. James B. Adams was appointed to serve the company's new chairman, and Chief Executive Officer Julian C. Day was appointed president and chairman of operating officer. And also in 2002, Kmart debuted a new executive line of Disney children cloth under to direct-to-retail license agreement. In 2002, Kmart launched a Joe Boxer fashion line under the term long executive agreement with Joe Boxer, the whole owned division with the Wing Song Alliance Pride. But then here's when things go down, and this is when things for Kmart starts to fall. Kmart completed the review of the store portfolio with the distributor network and announced the plan, and this is where things get even worse. They plan to close 316 more locations and 1 distribute center. The company also announced that it had to be obtained to $2 billion finance commitment from EG Company Finance and Fleet Retail Finance and Bank of America. And you think it gets bad? It gets worse, because on January 19th, the good news is, we think things are going to stay bad. It actually does get a little bit better. On January 19th, Kmart announced a promotion of President Julian's Day to Chief Executive Officer. Jim Adams would serve as non-executive chairman of Executive Board of Directors through the end of the vaccination case. And Kmart filled its proposal plan to reorganization, agreeing the investment agreement from plan investor ESTLS Investments Inc., the third party events fraud. However, things got even more worse. Things got better for Kmart here, actually, and things actually got better at Kmart, actually. On February 25th, Kmart received a court appeal to dispute its disclosure statement. First amendment to join the Reagan Organization creator began its subsequent appearance of a plan. However, things just got even worse for Kmart. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Chicago entered an order to confirm Kmart's First Amendment joint reorganization as modified. Following the strong vote applauding the company's creators for the milestone achieved, the company Target emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy early in May 2003. So the company started going back up. Company's running. On May 6th, Kmart completed its first track reorganization and emerged from Chapter 11 as a new federal enterprise. The company also closed on its $2 billion exit financial facility. Edward S. Labernert was executed chairman of the new board of directors of Kmart Holding Corporation. On June 10th, the common stock will begin trading on the NASDQ national market under the symbol KMRT, also known abbreviated as Kmart. In August 6, Kmart launches a Phyllis Soda Collection, a brand of appeal for women and girls for wealth, as footwear, accessories, jewelry, inmates, hosiery, and the bed and bath products inspired by international superstar. On October 20, 5 days before Bonnie Sr. was born, Kmart Management Corporation unveils a new corporate branding advertisement campaign with commercials with the new Kmart Right Here, Right Now theme aired on the Major League Baseball World Series on October 19. Jumping to 2004, things started to make a turn. On April 26, 2004, Kmart and Martha Stewart, living on Arkansas, agreed on amending a long-term contract agreement to extend through 2009. On April 27, 2004, Kmart Hold Corporation announced the opening of Kmart's Designing Group offices in New York. The office is located on 111th 8th Avenue Street, as it is the first product design presence. Kmart is held in New York and is the home of Lisa Swartz, Senior Vice President and Chief Creative Officer, and her team designers. On May 17, 2004, for the fourth consecutive financial quarter, Kmart hold a comparison report, improving year by year, profitably and liquidly. Kmart announced an executive and targeted marketing campaign to launch the 5 new Kmart Back to School Fall Appeal collection with the WB Kids. There will be new season shows with a market partnership, which is the first kind of where major retail brand worked with the television network to join legislature respect working on television, respect assets of promotional purposes. On August 12, 2004, Kmart and E! Entertainment Television announced that executive cross-promotion of alliances to launch attention strategy to promote a new line available only at Kmart to promote E! News Live, the only daily entertainment news teleglacks. On October 18th, On October 18, 2004, Kmart appoints Evan Lewis as president and chief executive officer. Effective immediately, Mr. Lewis also joined the Kmart board of directors. Mr. Lewis joined the Yum Brands Inc., where he was president chief multi-branding of the operation officer. In 2004, on November 8th, Kmart launches a Kmart Rewards credit card to the new credit card program managed by HSBC, a North American retail service business, in providing loyal benefits and builds direct marketing opportunities. On November 17, 2004, Kmart hold a corporation with Sears, Roebuck, and Co. agreed to merge. This is where things get interesting. If you guys don't know, Sears went bankrupt a long time ago. The new retail name named Sears Hold Company Corporation will be headed of Hoffman Interstate, Illinois. The corporation completes the third largest USA retail with $55 billion in annual revenues. And with have a border retail percentage will prove the scale of efficiency. In November, Kmart launches Kmart.com website, influences the supervisor committee shopping experience, and completely overhaul site. Offers user-friendly interface with easy navigations, a super function, as well as defined project assortments spanning across all categories. Now we get to 2005, but then that's where it stops. But there's more to that. On 2005, January 10th, Kmart Hold Corporation announced that the company would accept donations toward the tsunami relief efforts by the American Red Cross and all of its stores nationwide until February 15th. The company ultimately raised more than $400,000 for the Red Cross International Relief Funds. On March 23, 2005, Kmart announced that Kmart ranked at the top of the annual site design report of Independence Technology Forum for its Formaster at the Kmart site, ranking at highest among those was past the site only passing grade. I'm going to fast forward a little. However, there's more. We're going to fast forward. So we're going to fast forward to the early 2000s. They merged with Sears. But this is where things got interesting. But once again, now here's where things got interesting. These companies, you may all know Sega. They sued Kmart. Target sued Kmart. In 2001, Kmart This is where things got interesting. This was not a documentary. Kmart would be hit with 2 separate lawsuits by the Japanese, but also known once as American company Sega retail company competitor Target. In February 2001, Sega would sue Kmart for claim false to pay $2.2 million of the $2.25 million Dreamcast systems. In August, Target would sue Kmart, claiming that the company dared to compare advertisement campaigns inaccurately, compares its own prices to those Target measures on the time of the in-stores. And While Kmart was going bankrupt, a significant amount of Kmart understanding debt was purchased by LSV Investment. On October 17, 2002, Kmart opened a store in Somersport, New Jersey. Wow, it's the last location. 2019. Alright. In 2006, the company discontinued the Sears International name, renaming all Sears so as Sears Grand Stores. And Kmart started remodeling the stores to the orange prototype in 2005. In 2006, the typical white and blue interior stores changed to orange and brown, and the shelves were lowered to create better sideline. The remodeled stores contain appliance department with Kenmore appliances, and most hardware departments have sold Craftsman tools, which were prior to the merger has been disclosed from Sears stores, have left some auto centers left vacant by Penske after Kmart filed for bankruptcy after being converted into Sears Auto Centers. In July of 2009, Sears opened its first Sears branded appliance in a Kmart. Thus, 4,000 square feet, 370 meter seconds within store opened in the former garden department in Birmingham, Alabama. Kmart was 2/3 the size of appliance department in most Sears store, but larger than 2,500 square feet, which is 230 meters squared. And about Martha Stewart, in October 2009, it was reported that Kmart and Martha Stewart failed to come to a new agreement after Martha Stewart remarked on CNBC that her line at Kmart had been distorted and partly after the Sears merge. In November 2009, Kmart had its first year-over sale increased by 0.5% since 2005, and the only second such increase was 2001. More stores closed. Yada 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 yada. Da, 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 da. This is the final Kmart store, guys. Look. It was demolished in 2020. I'm not reading. Look, it is. There it is. Can't believe Bonnie Sr. went here as a kid. Now looking at it, it's gone. More commercial, buddy. Well, I gotta go. I'll let him do one more commercial. Play one more. Not that one. Here you go.
Nestle and Kmart have teamed up to cut prices on your favorite thirst quencher. Delicious instant Nestea in the 32-ounce canister with sugar and lemon, or the 3-ounce jar of 100% tea. Use the rebate coupon available at your local Kmart store, and your cost is just 86 cents each through Saturday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to smile. You're the face of Fredbear's Family Diner. Say goodbye, Bonnie. Bye, guys. Peace out. Remember to smile. You're the face of Fredbear's Family Diner, and make sure to come down. And don't forget to smile. You're the face of Fredbear's Family Diner. Peace out, guys. Bonnie out. Peace. FredBear99 out.